We visited Pine Hollow Campground in August of 2024. It's located in the southwestern hills of Vermont. The small campground sits on approximately 9 acres in the town of Pownal. It's not very big, but it is a pretty nice setting. Upon entering the campground gates, you can just about see the entire campground. Although small, it's definitely not without its charm. At its center sits a small but very clean pond, complete with a giant fountain in the middle. It's pretty nice.
You'll see it. You're gonna need to take, it's literally you take this right up here. And that's our driveway, so to say. You're gonna pull it right through here.
This is us.
Yeah, this is us.
So where is the hookup? Is there? If you do decide to visit the campground, of its 51 RV sites, we would definitely recommend one around the pond. They're pretty nice. We ended up in site R5, a pull-through site with full hookups located right on the pond. It is probably the nicest site in the entire campground. Our site was fairly level, with all the hookups in easy reach of our trailer. The nicest feature, though, was probably the sound and view of the fountain located in the middle of the pond. It was pretty nice just to sit there and listen to. From our standpoint, the campsites around the pond were the nicest in the campground, and the ones we would recommend. While there aren't a lot of full hookup sites, our site was one of the few that did. Either way, most of the waterfront sites were pretty nice. There are not a lot of amenities at the campground, but there is a small laundry room with a single washer and a dryer, a bathhouse that we didn't actually go into, and a very small combination office and camp store that has very few items that you might need. If you are so inclined, you can rent a canoe, paddleboard, or paddle boat to make your way around the pond at a very reasonable price. However, the paddle boat was out of service during our stay. There is also a horseshoe pit, but its location was less than ideal, sitting right next to the campground's trash cans. They also had a bucket golf course set up, but I'm not sure if it was a complete course or not, as you couldn't see all the holes. The campground doesn't have a lot of full hookups, but there is a single dump station located in one corner of the campground. One minor issue we encountered was the noise during the day. At night, the campground was pretty quiet. However, during the day, you heard the local neighborhood quads and side-by-sides constantly running the local hills. That mixed with the not-so-distant sound of someone target practicing with a .22 caliber rifle might not be what some people would desire. We didn't find it too distracting because, after all, you are in the southern hills of Vermont. I'm pretty sure the Wi-Fi at our site was actually broken. In talking to the owner, he previously had to replace the power feed to the Wi-Fi access point that sat in the tree near our site. However, I don't believe that actually fixed the entire problem. Since the Wi-Fi at the campground was set up as a mesh system relying on AP to AP to distribute the Wi-Fi signal, and the AP in the tree near our site being down, we had a very poor internet connection for our entire stay. There's plenty to do in the local area, including visiting the Battle Monument in Bennington. There are also a couple of local breweries in the downtown area, but we found that 2 of the 4 listed on Google were actually closed permanently. We visited North Adams in Massachusetts to hike the Cascades Trail. While not a long hike, it has a few spots with some rougher terrain, and actually getting to the trailhead is not so simple. The trailhead sits in a residential neighborhood with absolutely no parking. We ended up parking at the middle school, since it was summer and no school, that was okay, and walked about a mile to the trailhead. The signs at the trailhead tell you to park at the YMCA. Even with all things considered, overall we did really like our stay at the campground and would go back. It is small, but is also not very expensive, and it is pretty nice. If you find yourself in southern Vermont, it's worth the stay.